conference call. Today's conference is being recorded. At this time, I'd like to turn the conference over to Lene Breckenridge. Please go ahead.
Thanks, Cody. Welcome, everyone, to the UFC 227 media conference call. UFC 227 takes place this Saturday, August 4th, at the Staples Center in Los Angeles. This event airs live on pay-per-view. UFC 227 features a pair of title fights, and joining us on today's call are the athletes competing in the championship bouts. UFC Bantamweight Championship, TJ Dillashaw, and number one contender, Cody Garbrandt, as well as the flyweight champion, Demetrius Johnson, and number one contender, Henry Cejudo. And with that, we can open it up to questions.
Thank you. If you'd like to ask a question, please signal by pressing star 1 on your telephone keypad. If you are using a speakerphone, please make sure your mute function is turned off to allow your signal to reach our equipment. Once again, that is star 1 if you'd like to ask a question. And we'll pause for just a moment to allow everyone an opportunity to signal. We'll take our first question from Jeffrey Harris with 411 Mania MMA.
Good afternoon, everyone. I apologize in advance if my signal's not coming through great. First question for TJ Dillashaw, the champion. Are you disappointed at all that your first title defense is an immediate rematch with Cody Garbrandt? For TJ? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I'm here. I think I did a good job, the first time in Madison Square Garden, digging out Cody, but he's the number one contender, and I'm ready to go out there and give it to him, man.
But, TJ, do you believe if you were to lose this title that Cody would grant you, like, a rematch or a trilogy fight, considering what you had to do in order to get another shot at the title yourself, considering you lost the belt in a very sort of controversial split decision? That was a very close fight.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I think Cody's a man of his word. I think he's going to give me that rematch, regardless if I win or lose. And I'm just going to go out there and do my thing.
Now, earlier this week, Cody said a lot of things that you made a lot of excuses to delay this fight from happening.
All right. I gotta stop this, okay? You were not paying attention when that Lene did the thing. This is actually Demetrius Johnson, and shame on Lene, and shame on the conference call. Only people who are on this conference call is me and Henry Cejudo, I believe. I think Cody and TJ are next 30 minutes, but yeah.
No,
I'm here.
CJ, we actually have everyone on the call.
Oh, Jesus Christ, so why did you guys talk?
You guys are very different names.
You're doing a good job.
I'm on. Okay, I'll put my phone back on
Henry's on. Henry's listening.
Yeah, all right. Well, okay. Well, find TJ and you can answer now, okay? Goodbye.
Yes, if I can continue my question. TJ, what do you have to say about Cody saying you were making a lot of excuses to delay this fight, and he says you were going on a trip in an RV? Hello, TJ?
Whoever's asking these questions suck.
We might have to move to the next question. He might have disconnected for a minute.
All right. Sorry about that.
No, you guys understand. TJ hasn't been on the call the whole time. That was me pretending to be TJ.
Oh, I couldn't even tell.
Yeah. I'm going for the Oscars. Can you believe it?
I'm in right away.
Demetrius, are you there?
Yeah, I've been here the whole time.
Demetrius, how do you feel about this second fight with Henry, and do you expect Henry's going to be a different fighter this time?
I'm super excited for the fight against Henry Cejudo. Obviously, we haven't fought. Last time we fought was 2 years ago, and I'm sure he's going to come out there and try to show me something new, and I'm looking forward to it.
And for Henry, what have you been focusing on in camp to make sure that Demetrius Johnson, I guess, he's not going to be prepared for what you're bringing to the table this time?
It's not that, because Demetrius Johnson is a guy that's prepared everywhere, and it's like I tell people, it's like you don't fake it till you make it, you face it. It's something that Demetrius has done well. He's done everything. He's done everything right. He knows how to mix his fighting, and I've trained everything. I traveled the world. I've been everywhere. I've been to Amsterdam, Holland. I've been to Brazil, been to Thailand. Just trying to learn from the best surgeons of MMA, and I've done my homework. I've done my homework on Demetrius Johnson. I've done my due diligence, and I can't wait till August 4th. I can't wait till Saturday.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. We'll now take our next question from Damon Martin with flowcombat.com.
Hey guys, first question for Cody Garbrandt. Cody, you went into the last fight as a champion. This time you're going in as a challenger. Can you give me an idea of the mindset difference, kind of being the hunter instead of the hunted this time?
I think I'm always the hunter. I've always been the hunter, always, it's a completely different mindset going in this fight for multiple reasons. I wasn't physically prepared to go in there, dealing with the injuries, being out almost a whole year. But no regrets, TJ got me in that fight, but I made, great adjustments, great strides. I'm young, I'm hungry, have a great team behind me, and I'm excited to go out there and showcase my skills that we've been working on.
One of the things that really defines you in your win over Dominic Cruz was how you were able to separate the emotion from the fight. You let him talk trash, and then you kind of came in the fight, you just did your thing. And I heard you speak the other day about how you did get a little too emotional, going into the fight with TJ. How did you separate that this time? And has the lead-up kind of helped? Because there hasn't been as much, back and forth as there was in the first fight.
Yeah, I didn't engage with TJ on that. That's something that I learned from the last fight, that I don't need to get too emotionally involved. I just got to go out there and fight. And I'm the better fighter inside that octagon, let my skills take over and just focus on what I need to focus on. And that's, training every day, pushing my body to the limits, getting better, and raising my family. So I had no extra time for his banter or his, his trash talk. I mean, we've been back and forth with this guy for forever now. I'm tired of it. Don't have the energy for it. I'm just ready to go in there and whip this dude's ass on Saturday.
Do you have the mentality, I know you'd like to put the TJ Dillashaw thing to bed, but do you have the mentality knowing if you beat him, you're probably going to have to see him again just because the series would be tied at one apiece?
Yeah, I'm more than excited for that, to end that chapter with TJ and move on. But, there's a lot of fights that make sense for me, and we got to get paid. But, this will not be the last time I face TJ. I'm going to, knock him out Saturday, and then I want to make him beg for his rematch.
And last question for you, Cody. Obviously, you intend on winning the fight, but we know how rare it is for anybody to ever get a third shot at somebody if you lose twice. So is there a little more of that do or die attitude going into this one, that you have to answer all the questions and go out with a win no matter what it takes, whether it's a decision or a knockout? You know what I mean?
I'm supremely confident in myself and my abilities on this coming Saturday to regain this title from TJ. And I know it's not extra pressure, extra motivation to go out there and I have to do this or do or die. I'm just going to go out there and fight. I've fought my whole entire life. It's something I've always done, something I always loved to do. And I'm just excited to be back here healthy fight week and motivated and peaking how I'm peaking right now, and just get in there and remind the world that I am the best. Remind everybody in the world that I am the best fighter in the bantamweight division, and I'm going to go out there and do that.
Awesome. Couple questions for Demetrius Johnson. Demetrius, you've always had the same mindset that you've never really cared who you face. You just want to, go out there and defend your title. But how do you approach, when you have another rematch? And in this case, obviously you had a knockout the last time. Do you have to change the mindset going into the rematch? Do you have to look at it as a completely different fight and just, regard Henry as a new opponent? Or how do you get up for a rematch like this?
Yeah, I've done rematches before. This is the first time, taking on John Dodson, fight him twice, and fight Joseph Benavidez twice. So obviously your approach to fight a little bit different. And it's a brand new fight. So whatever happened in the past is the past. I expect to see a newly minted here 6 weeks ago, and I want to go out there and test the skills.
And one more for you, Demetrius, and everyone's going to talk about this at some point, was the fight between you and TJ Dillashaw that didn't come together. Can you give me any idea of, like, was it ever even really offered to you? Was there even deep discussions for that fight to happen? And is that something you'd still be interested in the future against TJ or Cody, I guess I should say, whoever wins in the title fights?
Yeah, so the fight wasn't offered to me after I got injured. So, when they offered it to me, I accepted it. Then I got injured, got surgery. And then when it came time to, fight again, from my understanding, from my management standpoint, is that TJ got an offer to fight Cody with a brand new deal. So God bless him for taking a new deal to fight Cody. But prior up to this fight, leading up to this fight, or even the July, I was never offered to fight TJ Dillashaw. It was basically, before I got injured, I was going to be fighting him, and then they moved on, and then they went to Cody and TJ.
Is that still something you'd be interested in after this fight?
Yeah, the money's right. I've always been upfront about, these super fights. Everybody keeps talking about these super fights. I mean, if the money's not there, the competition's not there, then, I'm just keep doing what I'm doing. And obviously that's up to my management to make that happen, My management knows what I want. The UFC knows what I want. So for me, I show up if I can no more consider in the flyweight division. I'll continue to do that until something comes to my table and it looks appetizing.
Awesome. Thanks, DJ.
Yeah, hold on, real quick, ladies and gentlemen. Demetrius has to get past me first. You're jumping the gun, reporter. You're jumping the gun a little bit on this.
I'm sorry, I won't do it again. I apologize.
I said Demetrius Johnson has a fight this Saturday with the Messenger.
Ooh.
Thank you, and I just would like to also announce that TJ Dillashaw has been reconnected. We'll take our next question from Akhilesh Ganavaparu with MMA.com.
Good afternoon, guys. Thank you so much for the time. TJ Dillashaw, first couple of questions for you. Thank you for joining in. People are split right in the middle regarding predicting the outcome of this fight between you and Cody this weekend. Now you sparred with Cody when you were part of Team Alpha Male. So how big of a factor was that, knowing him so well in your first fight?
Man, it's just me growing every fight. If it's someone that I know, someone I don't, I'm just going to grow as a athlete in general and a martial artist. So.
Gotcha. Also, during the last fight, the emotions were high, and this time around there hasn't been so much of a trash talk between you two. Do you think you'd be just as emotionally charged this time around? Hello, TJ?
You got me? Hello?
Hello, TJ? Can you hear me?
Yes, I am here. Yes, can you
hear
me?
All right. Yes, sir. So the emotions were high the last time you two fought. Do you think you'd be just as emotionally charged this time around?
Man, every time I fight, it's the same kind of emotion when I go out there. I try to put a smile on my face and enjoy what I do. I love this job. I love fighting every day. So it's more of the emotion with myself and not actually the person I'm fighting. It's more the task in hand. The reason why it's different this time is that, I'm not having to defend myself. I'm not being ridiculed the entire time. Once you knock someone out, they can't be as brash. They can't be as confident in themselves. So, it's a completely different game.
You'll see on Saturday.
Seems like it. Yes, we will. Seems like it.
All right, well, yeah. Like I said, I've been focused all camp, TJ. You've been trying to...
That's your number one thing. Oh, we'll see, dude. Guess what? We'll see. That's your one line. That's all you got. Oh, we'll see, dude. We'll see. Yeah, we saw last time as well.
You try to get this trap talk going.
You gave me your best. You got nothing.
Gave me your best.
Sweet,
I came off the couch, TJ. You know that. Come on, you
Good
know
job,
that.
dude. Excuses. They're like buttholes. Everyone has them.
That's facts, brother. That's facts.
It's facts. Mm-hmm.
That is facts.
Going back to the question...
Listen to you. Sound like a little kid right there. You have nothing good to say about me.
Okay.
Speaking facts, and you throw that back in my face. Real mature.
Mm-hmm.
So going back to the question, CJ, last question for you. Cody has knocked out so many people before fighting you, and you still chose to stand and trade with him. And you were only stopped once in your entire career. Where would you rate Cody as one of the harder hitters in the 135-pound division?
I mean, he's got some power. We all know that, but he doesn't have a chin, and he plays a dangerous game.
Doesn't have a chin. Okay.
You got no chin. I slapped you with my foot and dropped you. I hardly hit you with my foot, and you fell over.
Hardly hit you. I was fine. Came back from it, dude. I'm telling you,
it looks like it.
You're gonna find.
It looks like it when you're still on the canvas.
Yeah, when you had to get help to your corner. Just you're gonna be put to sleep.
Actually, it's funny when you say help to the corner.
And Daddy Dwayne's gonna help you out.
I remember walking back to my corner, and you couldn't even see it. You watched it. Walked right back to my corner, sat down.
You mean wobbled?
Got right back up and came out and whooped your ass.
Show that.
You were asking what happened after the fight. What happened? What happened to me? Oh, you got knocked the fuck out of what happened.
Oh, yeah. That's good. That's last fight, buddy. Keep thinking that's going to happen this fight.
Cody. It is.
Cody, next few questions are for you. Obviously, you spoke about being hurt when you last fought TJ. You were very impressive against Dominic Cruz and showed excellent movement. Would you say we'll get to see that version of Cody Garbrandt this weekend, who is 100% healthy?
Better version. You'll see the best version August 4th when I step inside that octagon. You'll see the best version ever of me, ever.
All right, fantastic. And how easy is this fight week? Has this fight week been for you so far compared to last time?
Easy.
Knowing that there isn't as much trash talk or so many emotions.
I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be healthy. I had an amazing camp. Everything's off the charts. My cardio, my strength, my speed. He's going to find out Saturday just how focused and how determined I am to get in there and take back what he stole from me. And I can't wait to rearrange his face.
All right, so last question for you, Cody. Going back to your previous fight with TJ, you tagged him towards the end of the first round. Have you watched those tapes? And if so, what has been the biggest takeaway for you from your first encounter with Dillashaw?
No, and I was able to do that coming off the couch. You know what I mean? I have a full camp now. I'm healthy. I'm in it. I can visualize myself in there against TJ the whole entire camp, and I'm huge on that. I'm huge on manifesting my destiny, and I saw nothing but confidence. I'm all-time high confidence, skills up there. Everything's up there. I'm excited to go out there and fight, man. It's been a while since I've been this hungry to fight. You know what I mean? And that deals with being healthy.
All right, fantastic. And next couple of questions for Demetrius Johnson. Mighty Mouse, you fought Cejudo before, but he has improved immensely since and also picked up an impressive win against Wilson Hayes. Have you watched tapes of Cejudo's recent fights, and what do you think about the changes he has made to his game since his loss to you previously?
His changes have been good. He's a little bit more patient with his striking. Other than that, I haven't seen, we'll find out more on Saturday.
All right, fair enough. And you're pound to pound the best fighter on the planet. So going into the fight, does it bother you where you're placed on the card, or you just focus on going out there and getting the job done?
I'm just focused on going out there and getting the job done because it's not my place to say where I stand in this whole pound for pound stuff. That's up for the public to perceive.
Gotcha. Finally, a few questions for Cejudo. Henry, you've improved a lot since your last fight with DJ. So can you talk about what you've done differently during this camp from what you did the last time when you fought Mighty Mouse? Hello, Henry? Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, so you've improved a lot since your last fight with DJ. So can you talk about what you've done differently during this camp from what you did the last time when you fought Mighty Mouse?
I think I would just base it on just every area, I guess you could say, from the grappling aspect to even the wrestling aspect to the striking. I mean, this game takes time, man. You don't.
I apologize.
Hello?
It does appear that we may have lost connection with Henry.
Oh, okay. So thank you guys, and all the very best for your fights.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll take our next question from Gary Abbott with USA Wrestling.
Yeah, is Henry on yet? Because my question was for him, but actually, I'd like to ask all four fighters about the importance of their wrestling background towards their success in the UFC, because all four of the guys on the main card were successful wrestlers before they got into fighting.
Yeah, definitely.
And when Henry's on, I have a question for him as well.
I'll take this
TJ?
one. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, this is TJ. Man, wrestling is what made me grow up. It's still the toughest sport in the world. Even with all the aspects of martial arts that I do on a daily basis, there's nothing tougher than wrestling. Nothing more challenging. Nothing more mental. Pushing your body to the limit. Me going through college and wrestling at D1 was what really made me become a man. I really grew up during those years, and I owed a lot to my coach, Dan Hicks. I had a lot to learn, and wrestling, I wouldn't be here today without wrestling. Wrestling definitely kept me on the straight and narrow and kept me working hard.
Cody, I know you were a good wrestler too. Could you talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, definitely. Growing up wrestling in Ohio is one of the most deep-rooted states for wrestling, and it was constantly, just every weekend, every day, it was eat, sleep, dream wrestling and train. So I come from the smallest town that was homegrown. We had our own wrestling camps and kind of did that, and it molded me into the man I am. It's given me life lessons along the way. I think wrestling is one of the greatest sports. Is the greatest sport in the world to be grown up in, and just to learn those life lessons from.
Demetrius, your thoughts on your wrestling background?
Yeah, wrestling was a great time. Never won state championship. Never wrestled in college. It was a good time.
Thank you. Is Henry on yet? I may sign on again to get Henry when he's back.
Okay. Time's running out.
Thank you. We'll now move on to our next question from Brent Brigman with the Gazette.
I'm also waiting for Henry. Is he back on?
Unfortunately, Henry is not able to reconnect at this time.
Okay, I'll hold, and if he gets back on, I'll get back in the queue.
Thank you. We'll now move on to our next question from Keith Shillan with the MM. I apologize. We'll now take our next question. From Jeffrey Harris from 411 Mania MMA.
All right, is TJ there? TJ Dillashaw.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. So, question: having fought Cody Garbrandt the first time, do you think he's an emotional or angry fighter?
Everyone's emotional. It's all just about dealing with it. He can and can't be, and either way, it's not going to matter.
And what do you have to say to his remarks earlier this week? He said you made a lot of excuses to delay this fight, and he said you went on a vacation with an RV.
A vacation with an RV? No, the only time I took my RV, was when I drove up to the fighter. Was nothing about no vacation about RV. It was about staying healthy, having my tryout. And I was also trying to line up a fight with Demetrius Johnson, a lot bigger fight. Cody doesn't deserve this rematch, but he does deserve his ass kicked, and that's why I've agreed to it. He's a guy that's maybe one of the guys never defended his belt ever and got a rematch. Never happened before.
Your first title defense was a guy that was just his debut, so what are you talking about? Like you said, I don't deserve
I was a Bellator champion, and then I came back out and beat
Bellator champion. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whatever to make you.
So you're talking shit on Joe Soto. Joe Soto's been up at Austin. He's a great fighter.
I'm just stating facts. You're a debut guy.
Mhm. And you've never defended the belt, so you're not even a champion.
I'm gonna get the belt back Saturday. That's all that matters.
You ain't getting shit.
Yeah, we'll see.
All thing is getting is your career ring at 135.
Yeah, you keep talking that shit, you're gonna find out how busted up you're gonna be.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And last question for Demetrius Johnson. There's a lot of talk about TJ or Cody Garbrandt coming down to fight you at flyweight, but would it ever interest you moving back up to fight a super fight at bantamweight for the bantamweight title, considering you fought for the bantamweight title before, you were a top 5 bantamweight, and it would just be another way to add to your legacy and add another belt to your collection?
Well, obviously right now I'm focused on Henry Cejudo. So obviously if I can get through him, then, I can sit down with my management team and we can figure that out. But as right now, I'm focused on Henry Cejudo, and we'll go from there.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll now take our next question from Rodney Edgar with MMASoldier.net.
Hey, what's up, Cody? Now, leading up to the last fight with TJ, I asked you if you respected his skills, and you said you did, and that you didn't underestimate him. And going into that fight, you did really well. Obviously up until the finish. But do you think, like, mentally, do you think that emotionality had anything to do with, the loss? Do you think you were too emotional?
Maybe it was a little bit too emotional. I needed to, after I had him, on, not almost knocked out in the first round, I could have calmed down a little bit more. So things like that. But it was just not being able to prepare for the fight. I think that's the reason why I lost the fight. Your timing, your sparring, your everything, your mental fortitude coming in, being in the grind, knowing that you did everything in camp to prepare yourself to go out there and fight. Had that. So I have no doubt this coming Saturday that I go in there, I step beside this octagon. This guy is he's gonna get beat up. I'm gonna go home with the belt, and I'm gonna enjoy it. Like I said, I've been enjoying all fight week. I've been enjoying all camp. Every day has been fun. Push my body to the limits with my team. I mean, it's been amazing. I have the best team in the world, best coaches, and I'm excited to go out there and showcase my skills on Saturday.
And, just to follow up to that, I heard an interview recently where you said that you kind of took that fight out of financial necessity, which is it's kind of tragic for, a world champion, because you don't see that in the NFL. You don't see a star quarterback go in and fight just because he needs to, And so is there anything else you'd like to add to that? I mean, are you comfortable? Are you happy with the purse for this fight, or do you think something needs to change overall?
Here's the thing: I have to go in there and and take my responsibilities to go in there to win, and that's what I'm gonna do on Saturday. And then we'll go talk with Dana White. We'll step inside there and see what's next for my career. And it's all about having the belt. It pays to be the champ, and that's what I'm going to be come Saturday.
And TJ Dillashaw, we have seen your striking game evolve immensely under the tutelage of Dwayne Ludwig. Obviously, it's just a different style. There's a lot of switch stance, there's a lot of movement. Can you just explain how, with this camp, you've gotten that much better this time around?
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're working with everyone. I'm working with good boxers, one with the OLGs, Jimmy, the ETPT sponsors, world-class boxers. Continue to work with Dwayne. We're continuing to grow. The great thing about me and Dwayne is we grow together. His system will grow under me as well as I grow under him. So we evolve together. He's not set in his ways. He loves picking up new technique, learning from coaches. Anytime I get a chance to work with a new coach, he wants to do that. He wants me to go and work with other guys to pick up whatever techniques I can. So, not only on the striking aspect of it, but everywhere.
Thanks. All right. And for Mighty Mouse and Henry Cejudo, I think I'm about out of time. I'll go ahead and pitch it to somebody else. See you all on Saturday.
Thank you. We'll take our final question from Keith Shalon with MMATakeover.com.
Thanks for having me. My first question is for Demetrius. Demetrius, I know you're kind of probably sick of talking about it, but the fans and the media always love to talk about who's the greatest of all time. You're always in discussion. What would you have to do to cement the debate that you are the best?
Just keep on fighting, staying healthy. That's all, that's how I think. But it always changes, so I don't try to worry about it.
Okay, over to Cody. Before your last fight, one of the big stories was being that you guys are both teammates. You kept claiming that you got the better of the exchanges in the stand-up. TJ denied it. There was a video that came out. To piggyback off of Gary's question earlier, what about the wrestling and the grappling? Who got the better of the wrestling and grappling exchanges? Hello? Hello?
It does appear as if Cody has dropped his connection.
Okay, then I'll just send that over to TJ. Same thing. TJ, who had the better wrestling and grappling exchanges?
apologize. It also looks like TJ has dropped his connection as well.
Okay, is who? I'm sorry. Is just DJ right now?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. All right, TJ. I know you don't want to look past Henry, but obviously we always want to keep looking past. Who's the next in sight? Is it a Formiga? Is it Pettis? What's next?
I'm not sure, man. You gotta get past him Cejudo, so I don't look past my opponents. That's obviously it's something that my coaches and my management can do. But for me, I'm focused on Cejudo this Saturday.
Okay, and obviously the big thing that happened in the first fight is you won the clinch battle. This is you talk about an Olympic gold medalist wrestler. Most people thought that was the area that he would win. You tend to always seem to win the areas where other fighters are best at. A perfect example is Wilson Heiss, where you won the grappling against a known world champion grappler. Is this something you specifically look at when you face a fighter? You want to beat them at the best thing they're at?
Well, obviously, yes, but with the whole fight with first time with me and Cejudo, it was just me and him going out there and fighting against him, and me being able to take advantage of him and showing true skill set in an area where he wasn't good at, I guess you can say. So it wasn't like we looked at his fights and oh, we're better than him in the clinch. We just got in the clinch, and then knees started flying, and that's what happened.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you. Good luck to you, Demetrius.
Thank you.
Thank you, and that's all the time we had for questions today. I'll turn the conference back over to Ms. Breckenridge for any additional or closing remarks.
Thank you, and we'd like to thank everybody for joining us on today's call. The press events for UFC 227 will begin tomorrow with open workouts at 6 p.m. at the Nova LA Live. Thanks, and see you guys all there.
That does conclude today's conference. Thank you for your participation.